Hello guys, my name is Melosovas and today we are going to talk about the American Civil War. I'm not going to talk about the main conflict of the war, but I'm going to talk about the men that made possible for us to get a more visual approach of the battlefield. The Civil War was the first war to be documented by photographs, and the man that made that possible was Mathew Brady. Brady was born in Warren County in New York in the early 1820s. Little is known about his early life, but what we do know is that he left the city and met Samuel F.B. Morse. Morse, a professor of art, painting and design at New York University and the inventor of the telegraph, likely tutored Brady in the newly developed technology of daguerreotype, which is the process of creating a mirror image on a silver surface copper plate. Brady began manufacturing cases for daguerreotypes, jewelry and painted miniature portraits. He worked to build his skill and his reputation, opening the Daguerrean Miniature Gallery on Broadway in 1844. Brady won the highest award at the American Institute's annual fair in 1844, 1845, 1846, 1849 and 1857, during which time he also began photographing well-known Americans such as Edgar Allan Poe and James Fenimore Cooper. At the outbreak of the Civil War, Brady sought to create a comprehensive photo documentation of the war, or just making money out of suffering, but at his own expense he organized a group of photographers and staff to follow the troops as the first field photographers. In 1862, Brady shocked the nation when he displayed the first photograph of the carnage of the war in his New York studio in an exhibit entitled The Death of Antietam. These images, photographed by Alexander Gardner and James F. Gibson, were the first to picture a battlefield before the dead has been removed, and the first to be distributed to a mass public. These images received more media attention at the time of the war than any other series of images during the rest of the war. A New York Times article in October 1862 illustrates the impression these images left upon American cultures, stating, "Mr. Brady has done something to bring home to us the terrible reality and earnestness of war. If he has not brought bodies and laid them in our dooryards and along the streets, he has done something very like it." Following the war, Brady continued to work in Washington, D.C. with his nephew Levin Handy, who was also a photographer. In 1895, Brady suffered 2 broken legs as a result of a traffic accident. Having never fully recovered, Brady died on January 16, 1896 in New York. His funeral was financed by the New York 7th Regiment Veterans Association. Brady is buried beside his wife in Congressional Cemetery in Washington, D.C. So that is the story of Brady's life. Now we are going to take a look to what he used to use to take the photographs, and believe me, you will be glad you have one of these. Photographers have to carry all of their heavy equipment, including their darkroom by wagon. They also have to prepare to process the cumbersome light-sensitive images in cramped wagons, and they have to carry the whole wagon just to take one picture. Imagine that, running through battle. The newest technology was wet plate photography, a process in which an image is captured on chemical-coated pieces of plate glass. This was a complicated process done exclusively by photographic professionals, and the cameras in the time of the Civil War were bulky and difficult to maneuver. Usually they have 2 lenses and took pictures like this. To take these pictures, all of the chemicals used in the process have to be mixed by hand, including a mixture called collodion. Collodion is made of several types of dangerous chemicals, including ethyl ether and acetic or sulfuric acid that will burn your skin. That's it guys, that's Mathew Brady of Civil War. Give a like if you like it. Miss Willie, give me 100, and see you next time. Melosovas out.